For years, SEO has been about one core question. Where do we rank on Google? Position 1, page 1, top 3. Entire teams, tools, and dashboards have been built around answering that single question. But something fundamental has changed. Today, your customers aren't digging through 10 blue links. They're asking ChatGPT, Gemini, and other AI chatbots a question and receiving one synthesized answer. That shift breaks the entire idea of traditional rank tracking. In the old world, users did the digging. They searched, they scanned results, they clicked multiple links, they compared sources, then they made a decision. Search was designed around human limits, limited time, limited attention, limited patience. In the new world, the AI does the digging. AI doesn't skim 10 results. It doesn't stop at page 1. It doesn't get tired. It reads dozens, sometimes hundreds of sources. It evaluates trust, relevance, authority, and consistency, then synthesizes a single response. That response is built on mentions and citations. And here's the critical shift. If you're not mentioned in the answer or cited as a source, you haven't just lost rank, you've disappeared. There is no page 2. There is no scrolling. There is no alternative option. Here's what that looks like in practice. Imagine you rank number 1 on Google for best project management software. You've done everything right. Strong content, high quality backlinks, solid on-page optimization. Now a user asks an AI, what's the best project management software for agencies managing client work? The AI scans dozens of sources, and instead of mentioning you, it references 2 competitors that rank lower in search because they speak directly to agency workflows, are consistently mentioned across reviews, and clearly match the use case. To the user, you don't exist even though you rank first. Traditional rank tracking was built for a different reality. It was designed to measure visibility in a world where results were consumed as ranked lists. Attention was distributed across links, and choice happened after clicking and comparing. In that world, rankings were a reliable proxy for visibility. AI-generated answers, on the other hand, changed the unit of measurement entirely. Because AI doesn't surface lists, it synthesizes conclusions. That means it doesn't care where you rank. It cares about whether you comprehensively answer the question and you appear consistently trustworthy across sources. Rankings measure visibility to humans. AI answers measure trust across the web. That's why obsessing over rankings alone is increasingly misleading. Because the real question isn't, where do we rank? It's, are we showing up in the answer at all? This leads to a new way of thinking about visibility. For years, we've asked one question, where do we rank? That question made sense when users typed keywords into search engines. But AI changes the input. Users don't search, they ask questions, and instead of results, they receive answers. So the more important question becomes, are we part of the answer? That's what AI visibility really means. It's not about position, it's not about clicks. It's about inclusion, whether your brand, content, or expertise is actually used by the AI. And once you see visibility this way, you also realize something else. You need a new way to measure it. This is where prompt tracking comes in. Prompt tracking is simply the practice of monitoring whether your brand shows up through mentions or citations when AI is asked the questions your customers actually use. Here's a basic way to start tracking prompts today. Start with a Google Sheet and create 4 columns: date, prompt, cited, yes or no, mentioned, yes or no. Each week, take your top 3 prompts, the real conversational questions your customers would ask AI before making a decision. Then, run each prompt in a temporary chat with your AI of choice. For each response, log 2 things. 1, were you mentioned anywhere in the response? And 2, were you explicitly cited as a source? The key is consistency. Use the same model each time and don't change the wording between tests. That's it. No scoring, no waiting, no overthinking. Over time, this creates a trend line that rankings can't show you. Are you gaining AI visibility? Are you losing it? Or are your competitors slowly replacing you as a recommended source? This exercise quickly exposes things traditional SEO hides. You might discover pages that rank well but never get cited, brands with weaker rankings that dominate AI answers, and topics where you thought you were strong but never appear. Rank tracking tells you where you show up. Prompt tracking tells you whether you're trusted. And once you see that difference, it's hard to unsee. Here's the catch. This workflow actually works. And the more seriously you take it, the more insight you gain, right up until it breaks. Because the moment you try to track more than a few prompts, cover more than one topic, or check results consistently over time, the process becomes cumbersome. What started as a simple spreadsheet turns into constant manual work. The problem becomes obvious once you try this method, and especially when you try to scale. Manual prompt tracking is time-consuming, is inconsistent, relies on guesswork about which prompts actually matter, doesn't scale beyond a handful of prompts, and breaks the moment you stop paying attention. Most teams try it once or twice, get a glimpse of the insight, and then abandon it. Not because it isn't useful, but because it's not sustainable. The framework is right, the execution is the bottleneck. This is exactly why we built this into Clearscope. Clearscope automatically tracks your AI visibility for specific topics using real user prompts, monitors mentions and citations over time, detects changes in visibility, and works across the AI models that matter. No spreadsheets, no manual checks, no guessing whether things changed. Just a clear, consistent view of your actual AI visibility over time. If you're still measuring visibility the same way you did 5 years ago, you're missing how discovery actually works today. Rankings tell you where you stand on a page. Prompt tracking tells you whether you exist in the answer. And that difference matters more every day. This framework is built directly into Clearscope. If you want to understand how your brand truly shows up in AI-generated answers, request a demo and see it for yourself.